when you made the Pepsi ads, it wasn't just 90s was a strange flux moment in India. Liberalization coming in, and suddenly there was no guilt associated with good times.
For me, there's never been guilt associated.
Not for you, but what I mean to see is
specifically for me. And all my ads, I've enjoyed them thoroughly because you can see the kind of commitment and my flavor in them.
Huh.
So, as a director, you tend to put yourself in your ads.
Whose decision was it to say, yahi hai right choice, baby? Why the baby?
No, that was the agency. That was Anuja Chauhan.
Acha.
That was her line. And even Dil Mange Mo.
Dil Mange Mo. Oh my God, that became iconic.
Iconic, yeah, because it was such a fabulous line. I didn't ever want them to lose that line. Moved on, international things were pressures.
But there were so many things with Dil Mange More. Is that it was also India.
No.
Not happy with content was not a part of it.
But the beauty of Dil Mange was Dil Kya Mange Mo? Pepsi? Yeah, dreams.
Wahi to.
It was all about dreams. Advertising is really all about dreams.
There's so much those two lines meant for an entire generation of the 90s kids.
Yes.
Of Dil Mange More.
No, there was a connect. See, the advertising had connected with the kids. Today, the advertising does not connect. It's not aspiration. It's only consumerist. There's a huge shift. Today, you are headlong into consumerism. अगर आपके पास ये गाड़ी नहीं है तो आप कुछ नहीं है. अगर आपके पास ये जूता नहीं है तो आप कुछ नहीं है. अगर आप ये मेकअप नहीं पहनेंगे तो आप बद्दी हैं. This is today's advertising. In our times, advertising was aspiration. आपने बनना है कुछ.
But it was also believable. अगर Aamir Khan or Aishwarya you took.
Yes.
It was believable that they were doing that. They were drinking that.
They were cast so brilliantly. But the battle was in the casting. सबसे बड़ी creative चीज वो Pepsi film with Aamir and Aishwarya was in the casting. It took us 3 months to cast that film.
Why?
Because we wanted people who were already part of the story. Aishwarya was unknown. We wanted a girl who was a stopper because she comes on for 4 seconds. And she needs to stop the country in its tracks and say, wow, who is this girl? Ye kaun hai bhaiya? And that's exactly what happened. The day the film released, I got 5,000 phone calls the next morning saying, who is Sanju? Where did she come from?
How did Aamir agree for a newcomer opposite him?
He didn't have a choice.
Okay, and why
He wasn't that big then,
Why Aamir?
Because he was the perfect boy next door. See, this was a copy of an American film, which was a very Americanly, culturally rooted film. That in a place like New York, there's an apartment called 10G, where this young bachelor lives, and next door lives this girl. And she's out of Pepsi, and she, like you out of milk or you out of sugar, you go to your neighbors, you knock it off. But in America, it's okay for a young girl to knock at a bachelor's door and say, do you have a Pepsi? Can I borrow one? But here's not. Culturally, we are not the same. So we have to be very sensitive about our casting because he should look overtly lecherous. He should look vulnerable. So I needed a boy who looked vulnerable, not cocky. Because that would have put the whole film into another zone altogether.
Correct.
So there's this pretty little girl knocks on the door very tempestuously because it takes courage to do that in India and say, excuse me, I'm sorry, but do you think I could borrow some Pepsi? And he looks at her and says, and you can see his need, his desire, but also his shyness. But shy hona chahiye.
So, और कौन था instead? Like, who were the others in the running for Aamir's role?
At that time, there was Shah Rukh, who had also been there. And when Pepsi approached Shah Rukh, it was very funny because Shah Rukh had just made it and was looking for a house. And he was short of 6 lakhs. So when they asked him, how much will you take? He said 6 lakhs. Because he needed 6 lakhs for his house. And when we recommended Aamir, because he was in my casting mode, he was more perfect for the role. He was more vulnerable and shy than Shah Rukh was. Shah Rukh was Raju Ban Gaya Gentleman, and Aamir was Curious Cutie.
हाँ.
So
पापा कहते हैं to or that. हाँ,
that.
okay.
And Aap and the whole tehzeeb of that whole film, which had become such a big hit, because he never calls her tu.
Yeah.
Throughout the film, he calls her Aap, and it's always very formal. Even the love story is very formal, and that's what I wanted. I wanted an audience to have that legacy, to know that he's not cocky, he's not pushing himself into a phase. He's not doing this because he wants to trap her or in any way. Okay, patawa, yes, but in a very nice kind of way. Not in an overt kind of. We're not in a Hindi movie style, which is Gana ga diya, gundagiri kar di, takka maar diya. That kind of courtship is highly unacceptable as far as we are concerned culturally. I don't know how it works, to be very honest. So we needed a very shy, vulnerable boy, and to me
that fitted in.
That fitted. So there was always a legacy, behind it.
Okay.
So I was plugging for Aamir. Aamir wanted 16 lakhs. And Pepsi said, "Yeah, Shah Rukh को ले लेते हैं, 6 लाख में मिल रहा है." तो I said, देखो, एक तो आपकी फिल्म कॉपी है, तो मेरे को क्या फायदा हुआ? अगर अच्छी तरह नहीं बनाई मैंने, तो लोग बोलेंगे क्या बंडल आदमी है, कॉपी भी नहीं कर सका. और अगर ठीक से बनी, तो लोग फिर भी बोलेंगे यार तो कॉपी है. तो हमारा contribution क्या है उसमें?
So you stuck to your guns.
I stuck to my guns. There was लिहाज. See, मेरे उसमें था कि was the nuance between the Western side of the script and the Indian side of the script.
Okay.
So that was to me very important.
Okay.
That we were not out of sur. We had to be in sur with an Indian culture.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा.
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है.
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब.
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप.
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI. It does not lie.